Yeah. 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 So many lies that you hear from the net, they don't get her respect. She reporting the truth, not a check. You want an unbiased opinion straight from the chest, not a bit of accomplice or someone here for a check. Tune in, these are thoughts from a lawyer on a mission who goes so hard it's like she works on commission. Trolls in the comments might say she tripping cause they lack the knowledge. They don't know they missing. Got a couple current events that you like. Wanna know about law from the eyes. Tired of all these blogs running lies because their agendas are disguised. Tune in to the intellect, cause I'm sure y'all missing all the facts of the case that she steady is gifting. Someone here for the people, man, it's so uplifting. If you ain't subscribed yet, then you just omitting facts.
Hello, everyone. It is Pam Esquire, also known as Your Law Intellect. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Saturday. I am just here for a few moments, hopefully, unless we get to chit-chatting like we do over here. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way in. I know we sound like we're begging, but we want other people to know that we are live so that our channels can grow. And if you hit the subscribe button because you like something that has been said over here, please consider subscribing to the channel. So I have a follow-up to my last video that I did on the TD Jakes Youngblood matter. You guys know what this case is about. I have recited it 110 times. So I am not going to do a little brief synopsis like I typically do. So on tonight, Blackburn has responded to TD Jakes' request to respond to his response. I think I got that right. Yep, it sounds like legal text messaging. I'm like, do y'all got each other's number? Huh? These filings are starting to look like y'all just talking to each other through the doggone docket. All right. So when Blackburn responded, basically saying, listen, Judge, I don't have the money for any sanctions that you're trying to put on me for that fake, for the AIs and all of that jazz that occurred that I've been accused of and that I admitted to. And he gave all these different reasons. Also felt like that he was pretty much being harassed, that's my words, by the counsel for TD Jakes, essentially trying to say, listen, you calling bars on me that you shouldn't be calling, talking about I'm not barred in DC. I got proof that this lady, it was a judge, I shouldn't say this lady, but the judge swore me in over there at the Southern District. We'll pull it up because I'm just going off top of my head. And I am barred in DC. And he attached some receipts and, whatever. So then TD Jakes responds and says, this is all a lie. This ain't true. I got the letter. We put the letter up where the DC bar said that he was not barred in DC. Well, somebody is mixed up in some communication because he got a paper. He has a document. TD Jakes has a document. So I don't know. I hope they just sort it all out. But meanwhile, the judge has told TD Jakes to listen, no, you cannot reply to his response. It's a no for me. All right. So even though he put all that stuff out there, of course, we got all the information anyways. But the judge, the same day the judge denied that TD Jakes can do a reply, Blackburn had already, I believe, I don't know the order, but on the same day, at least we know that, Blackburn essentially try to respond to his request to reply to ask the court to deny his request to reply. Hope you guys are following me because there's a lot of replies, responses. There's a lot going on here. So in Blackburn's response to the motion for leave to reply to his response regarding the attorney fees, he decided to drop a lot of information up in there that probably had nothing to do with nothing. But we're about to read it. So let's pull this up. I know you guys are eager and anxious to see what Blackburn had to say. But I see y'all coming in. Paula, good to see you. Said you trying. Listen. Maybe I should do one of those flow charts like they do for Nick Cannon's kids over there on the Shade Room. I don't know. It is a lot. I'm like, so the initial motion. Let me see if I could take this slow. The initial motion was that TD Jakes' attorneys did a motion for attorney fees because they had to respond to the motion to dismiss, and it was a bunch of AI. So they started the motion with the motion for attorney fees. Blackburn responded to the motion for attorney fees. Now, after Blackburn responded, Jake's attorney didn't like some of the things he was saying and felt like it was being misrepresented. Some of the quotes, he said the quotes wasn't right, still said the DC bar said you're not a member here, yada, yada, yada. So what he did, because there was an automatic right to do a SIR reply to his response, he filed something with the court, a motion for leave to request that the court allow him to reply, do a SIR reply, because that wasn't automatic. He wasn't automatically allowed to reply to Blackburn's response. But in his SIR reply, which a lot of people do, they put information in there that basically is the reply on the docket that you want to say. So he put everything in there, what he wanted to do in his SIR reply, and asked the court leave to do a SIR reply, which means the court will consider that as well when the court considers the attorney fees. He did his SIR reply, and well, he did his motion for leave to do a SIR reply. And so Blackburn responded to that SIR reply, that request, the SIR reply, and that's what we're going to go today. But the judge has already denied TD Jakes' request to do a SIR reply. I know I probably didn't help it at all, but I was trying. Hey, Miss HLS, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys had a great day. I think I saw Ray. He said, I'm having deja vu, or have you said that before about legal text messages? I don't think I've said that before, right? But this is what it feels like. Like, it feels like first of all, this is a public figure. Obviously, we all know Bishop Jakes. We all know the Potter's House. We know the Jakes, all right? We've known them for decades at this point. And what tends to happen is they are quite aware, and they're watching all of our videos. Those lawyers are watching every single time we put Jakes in the thumbnail or in the caption. And so, because you obviously know we're reading these pleadings, it is public record. I think oftentimes they put information in there that they want to get out to us. And that's what they use it for. Sometimes they put a little extra stuff in there. And so that's why I said it feels like they needed to email each other, or they needed to text each other or something, because a lot of this stuff was like, again, didn't really have to do with the issue at hand, which was, are you going to make me have to pay their attorney fees of $76,000? That's the issue. You get lost in the sauce on the issue because they add so much other tea into everything. So I don't know if you saw my last video, Ray, but Blackburn talks about it here. He basically said in an email, first of all, before we file any motions, we seek concurrence on the other side. So we say, listen, we're about to file this motion, but if you concur, we don't have to. So we're big grown-ups here. And so we should be able to work some things out and not have to get the court to be the mediator of everything. So that is a rule. You have to try to work it out, seek concurrence, say, hey, I'm about to file a motion based on this. I'm seeking concurrence. And that's what it is. Blackburn responded, said, no, You wasting my time. This case is a waste of time. I'm not giving you concurrence on replying to doing a sir reply on my response. What I look like. And they said, oh, and by the way, I plan on suing on behalf of Brandon Coleman, Richard Brandon Coleman, you know, the ex-husband of Cora Jakes. Apparently, Blackburn is representing him and said, so will your client will you be accepting service for your client? So Jake's attorney essentially considered that a threat, is what he was saying. Like, I asked off for concurrence and he over there threatening me. So yeah, so let's get into this so you guys can see the shenanigans that's going on. First of all, again, as y'all know, this whole not having a space right here bothers the heck out of me. Just hit return, okay? Blackburn, hit return. But anyway. Non-party respondent Tyrone Blackburn submits this opposition to plaintiff's request for leave to file a cert reply. The motion is not grounded in any need to clarify legal arguments or address new issues. Rather, it is an overt and improper attempt to sanitize a retaliatory bar complaint and deflect attention away from plaintiff's counsel's egregious conduct designed not to seek justice, but to destroy the career and reputation of opposing counsel through harassment, falsehood, and litigation abuse. He went hard in that first paragraph. Okay, he did. He put some time and effort in that one. This case is pending in the Western District of Pennsylvania. I have no cases, past or present, in the District of Columbia. Nonetheless, plaintiff's counsel, Mr. Dustin Posh, filed a bar complaint against me with the DC Office of Disciplinary Counsel, claiming I misrepresented my bar admission status. This alleged, quote, misrepresentation stems from the inclusion of the letters DC under the logo of my firm. At no time did I ever express or discuss my District of Columbia bar admission to Dustin Posh or his colleagues. So what he's saying is he got DC on his letterhead, and I guess they must have been, he's taking it, what I'm interpreting this is that Blackburn is taking this as if you was on your fishing expedition to see how can I get back at Blackburn. Oh, he put DC on his letterhead, so let me go make sure he really is barred in DC. And so once he got some type of notification that he was not barred in DC, according to them, because Blackburn got his own evidence, then they started calling New Jersey and New York, where he was barred, their disciplinary committee, and filed a complaint that he's misrepresenting, saying that he is practicing in DC and he's not, which has nothing to do with this case at all. But I guess they did this during the course of everything, and Blackburn brought it up in his response saying, at this point, Judge, they just trying to destroy me. And I think he was using it as additional evidence to show they don't need that $76,000 because this is more, it's retaliatory. This is not that they, you know, that I should really be disciplined for this or have any type of sanctions for this, rather, but they're being retaliatory at this point because DC ain't got nothing to do with this case, but they went and filed a complaint saying that I'm alleging that I practice in DC when I don't, or I'm barred in DC when I don't, or I'm admitted in DC and I'm not admitted. All right. Y'all following me? Hit the like button if you're following me. At no time did I ever express or discuss my District of Columbia bar admission to Dustin Posh or his colleagues. At no point did he call, email, or write to inquire about my DC bar admission before launching this career-altering attack. He has no issue sending me emails to request permission to file SIR replies. He has no issue with sending me an email to threaten sanctions according to Rule 11. But for some reason, he had a hard time sending an email to inquire about my DC bar admission. Mr. Posh's actions exhibit clear bad faith. Well, he told you, Mr. Posh. I was formally sworn into the District of Columbia bar on May 7th, 2024 by the Honorable Catherine H. Parker, U.S. Magistrate Judge for the Southern District of New York. See attached Exhibit A. And I urge your honor to contact Parker, gave the email address, Judge Parker, to confirm that she swore me in and signed Exhibit A. So let's go to Exhibit A. Committee of Admission, District of Columbia. Dear Tyrone Anthony Blackburn, congratulations on completing the requirements for your admission to the practice of law and the bar of the District of Columbia Court of Appeals. So now they're telling you about the swearing in process. So he got this congratulatory letter on February 22nd, 2024. And then we have attorney oath of admission to the District of Columbia. Role of attorneys. I, Tyrone A. Blackburn, do solemnly swear and affirm as a member of the bar of this court, I will, what do they say? Demean myself uprightly according to the law, and that I will support the Constitution of this here divided states of America. And then it says, I hereby certify that I am authorized to administer the oath in this jurisdiction, and the foregoing oath was administered to Tyrone Blackburn on May 24th, I think. Okay, so Tyrone cooked on that one. She is, but DC is, she's a federal judge. So, I mean, she could be sworn. You just need somebody that's sworn into the bar. She's a federal judge, so she's able to do it. Let's see. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's go on and see what else he has to say. So he got his evidence and said he has been sworn in. Now, maybe it was something else to do. I don't know why. Maybe because he's never done any cases there yet. I don't know what it is, but apparently they got a letter that essentially says he's not, and that's that. So he had to get him a lawyer, allegedly, because of this. I think he should be able to just turn this into the bar and call it a day. But hey, who am I? I didn't totally review this and try to research it, so I don't know. The retaliatory nature of Dustin Parsh's conduct is self-evident. Its timing followed my filing of several affidavits and defendant's anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss previously filed by the defendant in this case from countless survivors of plaintiff who all described serious allegations against plaintiff and other members of the clergy and his church who used their positions of power to groom and sexually assault them. These affidavits contain deeply disturbing firsthand accounts of misconduct. They form the basis of defendant's argument that plaintiff is a pariah. Defendant's public allegations against plaintiff were not isolated, but part of a disturbing pattern of depraved grooming and sexual assault. In response, plaintiff's counsel struggled to address the allegations heads on, failing miserably to coherently respond to the men who provided the sworn affidavits. To further justify his retaliatory abuse of the disciplinary system, plaintiff's counsel now appends to his reply motion an email in which I asked whether he would waive service in a forthcoming civil suit involving plaintiff and his daughter, Cora Jakes. So now he letting the court know about the allegations against Cora. That email, entirely appropriate in substance and tone, is now being mischaracterized and taken out of context to falsely imply impropriety on my part. Cora Jakes, like her father, has been publicly accused of abusing children. Jesus. This is allegedly, okay? All of this is allegedly. My goodness. He said it like that. Their church was a haven for immigrant children, yet the parents of several of these kids were deported. What? The children have been left behind, and upon information and belief, many of them are now missing. Cora Jakes, in particular, has been accused of manipulating a vulnerable friend who trusted her into giving Cora Jakes custody of their child and engaging in other forms of physical abuse of her adopted daughter. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say. Tracy said, what in the world? That's not immigrants and getting deported and the kids getting left behind. Okay. Paula said, this is a lot. I never heard this stuff. Ray said, this is stuff that other vlogger reported a while ago. Oh, I never heard of it. I've never heard of that. Of course, I've heard of the Cora Jakes and the daughter situation, and I know that obviously Michelle Lau has been very loud, about her situation, and I think I might have talked about it in my membership. She's been on a few platforms. I know she went on Thaisa's was one of the first ones she went on, but I never got with the Michelle Lau story because it just seemed like a bunch of missing pieces for me from the legal realm. So it wasn't much that I could do on really talking about it because there were no documents. They claimed everything was under seal. It was no way to really. It didn't make it wasn't like, I think a lot of people got caught up in the emotional aspects of it with Michelle Loud, and it sounded like faulty, like somebody that was in postpartum depression, I think she said, and how spiritual manipulation and just feeling like you were taken advantage of. It sounds like it sounded like a lot of regret that was happening, and I didn't see much of the legality portions of it, is what I'm saying. Like, I heard something about one of the ladies was at the Potter's house, and that was the judge, I believe. She is supposed to be a part of, like, I just heard so many, and I don't run on emotion. Like, I understand that people probably gonna cuss me out about this, but but it is what it is. They cuss me out about Diddy. They cuss me out about everybody. So, I had a lot of people. I done got a lot of backlash and people saying they didn't like me, that I ain't who they first knew when I first came on YouTube. No, I'm actually the same. I just was doing a story you probably liked, and we kind of leaned on the same side at that point. But when it came to that story, it was just so many missing parts. Like, I would ask questions like, well, how do you give up a kid without the father saying you can have this kid? The way adoptions work, like, both parental rights have to be terminated. Then it was Cora was the one called at labor and delivery. It was just a lot of things going on with that case that I just wasn't. I talk more off the record. I think I did email her inbox. I DM'd her or something one time. I asked a couple questions and never got a response. So I'm just not going to be that person that just because I am never I don't like someone, so everything bad against them, I'm going to believe. I don't know nothing about the Jake, so I don't care one way or another. But it got to make sense to me, and it has to be legal documentation to back it up. This is why a lot of people out here catching these lawsuits like strays, because you can't just, yes, you're allowed to have freedom of speech, freedom of your opinion in certain situations, but I think we should do things based on informed speech. Because, like, I was watching something today on Netflix and it just came on randomly. I think I just dozed off, so it just came on next. And they were talking about a YouTuber, and I seen that YouTuber, like she came through my timeline, and how she became, I guess, the champion for the whole Free Britney Spears. Then she got kind of caught up on another case that had to do with the guy from is it called Jackass? show from back in the day, and he had a lot of mental health issues, and she started talking about that case and digging into it, and how some of the followers and stuff started harassing the girl's fan. It was just crazy. And it was a YouTuber that comes down my timeline and covers legal stuff. And I think she went to law school too. And I was just, she's being sued right now. So that's why I'm saying, like, sometimes you get caught up emotionally where you don't even have, I'm like, where's your authority? When we started this channel, I was, every time you guys come with stuff, I'm like, where's your authority? Or just say, I feel, I'm gonna be honest. I remember the Tory Lanez case. I remember the Tory Lanez, Tamika Mallory came, and she was there to support Meg Thee Stallion. And she got online and said, I'm gonna be honest, I'm biased. I'm just totally Meg, period. Like, I could respect that. You don't care what evidence come out, you don't care what is what, you just like, that's who I am. But for me, I'm not like that. I'm not my purpose on YouTube is not to just be clickbaity and salacious and see how many, likes and I don't pay my light bill because of YouTube. So, I mean, it's nice now, some good vacations to happen because of YouTube. But that's not what I rely on, I guess I should say. I'm very, very grateful for every dollar y'all spend, just like I'm grateful for the little gaming channel. He said, what in the Trump's America is going on here? I don't know. They going back and forth on the docket like they don't got each other's phone number. I don't know. Yep. Did you watch that, Tracy? Tracy, did you watch that on Netflix? I don't even know the name of the show because it just came on. I don't even know the title. But apparently they started like websites. It was a lady named Luna who was trying to help people with mental health problems. And then Luna would come and try to get some celebrities, I guess, to try to go through this program. And she looked her up and looked her background up and caught her in a lie about an autopsy report, because she went and got the autopsy report. But Luna said one of her clients died of like seizures. And apparently they were harassed, like crazy harassed. And her sisters already had mental health problems. So allegedly they got fixated on watching the videos that she was putting out. So they ended up being in psychosis. It was just a lot. It was a lot. You seen it on HBO, Joy Ray? I gotta find that. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. It was the name of it. Let me see if I can find it. Now I'm gonna get back to this document. Y'all, thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I don't have my glasses. I can't see this far. Let me see. I'm gonna put it in my members chat when I figure out what it's called. You know what it's called, Tracy? I saw it on Netflix though. It was a documentary on. Man, I gotta look and see. I couldn't see. So anyway, yeah, Polly, you need to watch it. It was a lot. So let's get back to this document, because you guys know I go off on a tangent. But yeah, you just have to be careful. So yeah. So anyway, she's brought up in this lawsuit. In this document, Cora and the alleged child who was allegedly taken. Okay. Danny says, my inquiry regarding the waiver of service was fully within the bounds of professional correspondence. Mr. Posh's decision to present it as a, quote, threat is both dishonest and defamatory. From the inception of this lawsuit, I informed Mr. Posh that I am planning to file a class action lawsuit for several male sexual assault survivors against plaintiff TD Jakes. My goodness, today. I don't know. you. Dustin Posh created Mr. Jake's present reality by foolishly filing this suit against Mr. Youngblood in hopes of bullying him. Okay, let me start this out. Dustin Posh created Mr. Jake's present reality by foolishly filing this lawsuit against Mr. Youngblood in hopes of bullying him into signing away his right to speak publicly of the childhood trauma visited upon him by TD Jakes. Unfortunately, Plaintiff Jakes failed to anticipate the avalanche of survivors who would come forward with evidence of plaintiff's grooming, actually assaulting, sexting, and transporting them across state lines in violation of the Mann Act. What is happening right now? One of the accusers is now Mr. Jake's former son-in-law, Richard Brandon Coleman. Dustin Posh and TD Jakes know that they could never intimidate me from representing Mr. Coleman and the other men who have valid claims against Mr. Jakes. Even if Mr. Posh were able to hinder my law license, which he cannot, I will continue to pursue Plaintiff Jakes, even if all I have is a bullhorn in front of the U.S. Department of Justice. He said, Bishop Jakes, this is what he said. He said, essentially, he's not going nowhere. So you can come after his law license all you want. And then what he's going to do is he going to go old school 1965 Martin Luther King and go get a bullhorn. Stand outside of Trump's Department of Justice. And he is going to tell the world about who he alleges that you are. That's what he just said. You said he sounds so emotionally invested. That's from Southwest Houston. That's what he said. Just Lisa Jones said allegedly it was other bishops doing the same thing with him allegedly. Yeah, that's what he said. He talked about the other bishops more than anything. So the issue was that, and I think Larry Reed addressed it on Conscious Channel. The issue was that what Reed did was he clipped out the part. He only talked about Jakes for 10 minutes. He clipped out the part of Jakes portion because he knew it would lead people to his channel. Now that has gotten over 1 million views, like on TikTok and Instagram. But since then, now Reed has already taken down the videos with Duane off of his YouTube. He had already taken those down. He had done a letter to the people out on the platforms. And he said, listen, if I have offended you in any way in my years of doing commentary, let me know if there are any videos you want me to remove, and I will. So I'm assuming he took the one on YouTube on his own volition. But nonetheless, Jake's attorney, I guess they reached out to him because there was a letter that was sent. They reached out to Reed yesterday and they asked him to take the ones down off of what was it on? Instagram and TikTok. And so from my understanding, he has taken it down. So that was the thing. The majority of that video was not about Jakes. More of it was about other bishops, and there were more in-depth. There were more like in-depth conversations about other bishops that he was alleging. And that was one of the things Jake said was, why didn't you sue them? I mean, not sue them, but, why didn't you send them demand letters? Because that's what it all started, was from a demand letter where Blackburn asked for like $4 million for an attempted kiss. But yeah, so that was part of what was said, was like, well, why you pick me out of all, you named other bishops, why am I the only one that you decide? That's what he was mad, I think, at Larry Reed about, because he was like, so you clip mine out of there and you're somebody that has talked about my family in the past. So that's what he was alleging in the document. So yeah. You got notified. Well, you got notified late, Jay, because we've been on for a minute. That's what he said. Hear ye, everyone. Let me tell you about the great Bishop Jakes. That's what he said he was going to do. You know what, Paula? He did. So the alleged purpose of the video was the abuse from the abuse to the abuser, because we know Duane Youngblood has been convicted of messing with little boys. And so he went to prison for that. And that's what Jace is using, like in his complaint. Oh, he blasted him all up through that complaint, all through the response. So it's supposed to be how some people that become abusers, which there is some I guess some evidence to that some people that are abused become abusers. And so that was supposed to be the topic. But when you mentioned TD Jakes, that was like the moment, because that's who we knew. Now, these other bishops were supposed to be pretty big too in that denomination, but we don't know them like we knew Jake. So we wasn't really looking up those names like that. Just Lisa said the person who had it posted, I don't know them, but I know of others allegedly. Who are you talking about? Lisa, what are we talking about? It's a Saturday. We're all relaxing today. It's the Sabbath. What are we talking about? I want to make sure we're on the same page, Just Lisa. You said the person who had it posted. Who had what posted? Do you have some information, Just Lisa, that you would like to share? That's not going to make me a part of any pleadings. That's not going to make my platform link be clicked on in any of these pleadings. You got anything that you wanted to share? Let me know. While you think about it, I'm going to go finish reading. Because so now he being accused of grooming and violating the man act like Diddy. That's what they accusing him of. Lord have mercy. They probably going to try to strike this off the docket. Dustin Posh and TD Jakes know that they could never intimidate me from representing Mr. Coleman and the other men who have valid claims against Mr. Jakes. Even if Mr. Posh were able to hinder my law license, which he cannot, I will continue to pursue plaintiff Jakes, even if all I have is a bullhorn in front of the U.S. Department of Justice. Even if there is no financial recovery in my forthcoming litigation against Mr. Jakes, I do not care. So long as my clients have their day in court, can file their criminal complaints, and their claims are investigated by law enforcement, I will get justice for my clients. So he said he don't even got to make no money. He said this one is on the house. He don't got to get paid. None of that. This is how passionate he is about making sure his alleged clients get justice. He will do this for free. That's what he said. Paula said, LOL, he is standing on it. I will not be smeared. Why, Miss H? He let y'all know he is not going to be intimidated. We could talk about him as much as we want to. He will not be deterred from his mission. His mission is to get this class action lawsuit filed. The interesting thing about a class action lawsuit, though, is you have to, I don't know if he would even be certified as a class, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But because it's I don't know if I would be certified at this as an attorney, like be approved as an attorney, because there are certain criteria even as an attorney that you have to qualify for that, because it is very, very expensive if you're trying to do class actions. And you basically said you don't have money in these pleadings. That's what you said. Or maybe you just don't got money for them. Maybe that's it. Maybe you just don't got any money. Like we don't. None of us want to give our money away to people that we ain't choosing. We don't like giving it to the light company, the gas company, the taxes. We don't like doing none of that. But I mean, it is what it is, you know. Auntie Eva said, this sounds personal. I wonder if he was someone's victim. I don't know. A good observation. You said, does the reputation or perception of an attorney have any impact on the outcome of the trials of their clients? It shouldn't, but does it? I think it may, but it shouldn't. Because that's why you stand in front of a jury. Oftentimes you'll hear lawyers say, listen, if you don't like me as an attorney, please don't take it out on my client. I'm just very passionate about what I do. And sometimes I may come across a little jerky. I may come across like I have an attitude. And that's not what it is. I just really, really believe in my client and I believe in this cause. My client was really traumatized. My client was injured and will never be the same. It has cost him his wife, relationship with his children. And you only heard the half of it. So I'm just asking you to stick to the facts. But I've heard jurors look at what attorneys have on, all type of stuff that I would have never imagined they even look at until you poll them and it's very interesting at the end of trials when you can poll them and see like things they were looking at. So thank you for the super chat. The little gaming channel said, I'm doing God's work. In my Kearney Thomas. God. It depends. You have to have a few of them that are on the plainest part. I've never done class action, so I can't say I'm some guru at it. I just know I've read plenty of them. Of course, I cursory know about it because it was part of what we learned, but I've never and usually there's more than one firm. I've never seen anyone do a class action personally by themselves. Typically, you have 3-4 firms on there. So let's just assume you become a part of it and you have to have people that's going to assist you and help you, because that's the biggest part of it is the court wants to make sure that you're capable of carrying a class action. That means you can start out, if they make you a certified class, that means 30 more people can come to you. And then you're responsible for all of those people. So, yeah. I saw that when digging up info about the Menendez brothers case, they polled the jury and they didn't like the lead attorney. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes when you poll, it makes a difference, and you don't say they're leaning, I think, towards one side or another. I think it may sway. It shouldn't in theory. Now, you're not supposed to do it on emotion, not supposed to do it based on if you like an attorney. But you get some attorneys that if you come off like a arrogant jerk and the jury doesn't like you, and you're especially like doing criminal defense, and your client is all this egregious things are being alleged against your client, it may come against you. So Ray said you can't be AI in a class of clients. Oh my gosh. YSL Love, no one likes her. No, when I seen her sitting at that table at another trial, everybody was like, why is Love at this table? I'm like, she wasn't fired. She's like a assistant deputy or something. She's kind of high up in the DA's office. So yeah, you're gonna see her. I can't imagine going against somebody like her. Just to keep your cool. And you can't be drinking while you sitting there. I think that's what happened in the latest Dolph trial. They didn't like the prosecution. I didn't watch it, but that attorney, when I'm going to watch his closing, I think, today, because I did see that clip. The attorney who represented Dolph, said he did it for free. And he said, because he felt like this should not have been brought in the first place. And he wants everyone to see the injustice that can occur. He said they spent a lot of money on that case in order to successfully defend it, and they got their acquittal. And so they think this may be a wake-up call to the country on how sometimes the state gets overzealous in their charging. And I can commend that, but my thing is, do we do that with people that don't have a name? So that's cool and all, but when you help the person that we knew that was going to be televised, you knew it was Dolph, you knew it was everyone was invested. So it was also a great way for exposure for you. So even though sometimes you may not get paid the nether rise, you may get paid from, you cannot tell me after he got that acquittal, people weren't blowing his phone up. The publicity of that and getting that acquittal is probably going to be way more than even what you made. So I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him for taking it for free. But I just wish more people would do that for Joe Smo on the corner and Pookie and Lil John that got caught up in the game because he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And For Eyes Forever said, I probably was one that can't stand DA Love. Ugh. You said it was interesting. It wasn't that long either. So because it wasn't that long, I might actually watch it. I just didn't want to get caught up in a trial like I did with YNW Melly. Man, I was every day jumping on lives. I had the live going while I was gone doing work at court. I had videos in every room to do my Zoom hearings. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot. But it was cool because it brought in a lot of young people to my channel because most of the people over here are around my age, my demographics. So it brought like 20-year, because I didn't know nothing about YNW Melly, so I needed them to be over here to tell me all about it. So we all learned about it from the young people, and it was just pretty. It was cool. Like they would hit the link and come on and tell me about what this means and what these words mean and what song I should look up. They was, hey auntie, you should look up this song. You'll like it. I got so many nieces and nephews on this internet from that YNW Melly trial. You said he was definitely playing it up for the cameras. What? Nope, I didn't know about that trial for Always Forever. Nicole Mitchell. Nope, I didn't know about that. All right, let me finish this document. So he basically said he's not about to be intimidated and he's doing it he'll do it for free. Okay, so he ain't going nowhere. He's gonna be like a roach in the house. You see one, it's 1,000 of them. Can't just get rid of them. That's what he's saying. This court should not entertain Mr. Posh's desperate and abusive litigation tactic. Mr. Posh has already demonstrated a pattern of bad faith conduct, filing a baseless grievance in a jurisdiction irrelevant to this litigation, intentionally mischaracterizing the waiver of service email, compounding motion practice for the sole purpose of driving up his fees, and repeatedly using the court's processes to launch personal attacks against opposing counsel. His request for a sir reply is yet another example of these improper acts. I almost forgot what he was writing this for. That's right. He wanted the court to deny the request for a sir reply. He put all this information in here that has nothing to do with a sir reply. I know the judge is like over it. They haven't even started discovery yet. This case was filed in December. So you're talking about literally 8-9 months in, and they have done nothing but file motions back and forth in this case. No scheduling order, no timeline for discovery, no expert discovery deadlines, no initial disclosures. That's what you do in the beginning. Nothing has been done in this case. We're going back and forth with motions and show causes and dismissals with AI and a dismissal that wasn't, I guess with the anti-SLAPP, they said it didn't apply in federal court. It's just a lot going on. Everything is going on but an actual track to trial. So I know the judge is like, what? Like, what? What? Can you guys get it together? As the Supreme Court explained in Chambers v. NASCO Inc., 501 U.S. 32, 1991, that better say exactly what you say it said too. He ain't got no quotes though. When there is bad faith conduct in the course of litigation that could be adequately sanctioned under the rule, courts ordinarily should rely on those rules. However, if in the informed discretion of the court, let me see what this girl did. Hold on one second. I heard some noise. Okay. Had to make sure she was okay. However, if in the informed discretion of the court, neither the statute nor the rules are up to the task, the court may safely rely on its inherent power. In Chambers, the district court properly invoked its inherent power to shift attorney fees and related expenses where the litigant pursued a campaign of harassment and oppressive tactics to exhaust his adversary. See also In Re Schaefer Sought Recovery, Inc. in the Third Circuit, 2008, noting that Section 1927 sanctions apply when proceedings are unreasonably multiplied by bad faith conduct. The conduct displayed by plaintiff's counsel here, weaponizing grievance systems, misrepresenting emails to the court, and filing baseless replies, is well within the bounds of bad faith litigation practices. This court has both the authority and the duty to rein it in. Okay. Conclusion: for the foregoing reason, plaintiff's request for leave to file a reply must be denied in its entirety. It serves no valid legal function and further a campaign of harassment and retaliation against undersigned counsel for daring to represent defendant and to give voice to plaintiff's other victims. Should the court permit the plaintiff to file his reply, I respectfully request leave to file a substantive response and to move. I can't believe this. And to move for appropriate sanctions against Dustin Posh under Rule 28 U.S.C. Section 1927 and the court's inherent powers. From Tyrone Blackburn. So anyway, the court denied this was Tyrone Blackburn wanted the court to deny their request to do a reply to his reply or his response to the motion for sanctions. I mean, the motion for attorney fees. Sanctions, same thing, but they're asking for $76,000 in attorney fees as a sanction. The judge, I don't know if the judge even paid this any attention in the decision, but the judge did deny Jake's request to file a reply in response to Blackburn's response to their request for leave for them to file this reply. And then he had the nerve to say, well, if the judge, if you do grant it, please allow me to be able to reply with a reply to his reply. So how it typically goes, y'all, is if I filed a motion, right, as the plaintiff, let's just say I'm the plaintiff. I'm the plaintiff, I file a motion. The defendant responds to my motion. I respond, I reply to the motion. I usually can't reply to their response. And that's usually where it ends. However, in some situations, the court will allow you to do what's called a reply, and that's you replying to their reply as the initiator of the motion. So in this case, he filed a motion for attorney fees. Blackburn responded and said, please don't make me pay these fees. And I think they were just asking for a reply. I don't even know if it was a sir reply. I don't know. I'm getting mixed up out of the order. Reply, sir reply, whatever. The court said no. And in this document, as you guys see, while Blackburn really was just requesting that the court deny them being able to reply to his response, he added a whole lot of allegations against TDJs. He alleged that he has information related to all these other alleged victims. He wants to file a class action. He also mentioned some immigrants coming and the children coming up missing. I've never heard that a day in my life, so it's allegedly. And I'm sure that Jakes will deny it. So I'm just gonna say Jakes has denied these allegations. He probably like, what the heck? But apparently, according to Ray, this was something that some people were talking about on their platforms. Again, I never heard it. So Ray, you have to tell me who said that, because I like not in here though. You know, DM me. I want to know who actually said that. But that's it. That's all, y'all. That is his. He did also show, like earlier, I don't know if you were on here, he did show his DC acknowledgement from the District of Columbia. He did show that acknowledgement. And yeah, that's that. Any questions? Any questions? Any concerns? Because I'm about to get off of here because my food just got here. Huh? Anything? Make sure you hit the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I know y'all want me to get on this Demore tip, but it's food. Danielle, don't open that door. I'm about to get off in a minute. I know it's not your dad.
It is.
How you know?
Oh. Look at it. I don't know this. Go ahead. You go.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. All right. No, I know for those that were asking about the Demore, maybe tomorrow, but so the Demore Hadley case is just heating up. It's just left and right documents. And one of the reasons why is because there's another lawsuit of which Demore's grandmother, I think it's the aunt, and Desiree sued Demore's husband. That was the initial lawsuit. So now it looks like they've combined the cases. So you'll get documents from both cases because Demore's husband has filed a motion to dismiss, and the attorney on that case, when he attached exhibits, he put the immigration number, like he basically doxed the lady, okay? Like the grandma, or I think it was the grandmother, Miss Gonzalez, I think is her name. And so there was an emergency so they did strike it off the docket. So it was an emergency or whatever to try to get it off the docket because it actually had a lot of names on it. And so, had information on there that we weren't supposed to know as the public. So yeah, so that did end up finally being under seal. But of course, the other party thinks it was done on purpose, and the family is already being harassed online because everybody is anti-Rock Nation And so they felt like it was done purposefully and they want something to be done about it, I guess. And then it's just a lot going on in that case. It's a lot, but there's a lot of receipts, text messages, there's jail call transcripts. It's a lot. So I would have to like try to put it together. I mean, I guess it could be multiple videos, but I would have to try to put it together for it to make more sense without starting from scratch from the beginning about how everything happened. But yeah, it's a mess. It is definitely a mess. Yes, confusement. It's very confusement. Yeah. All right, y'all. You guys have a good evening. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again. The little gaming channel who gave 2 super chats today. I appreciate you supporting the channel. And all minds clear. We out of here. I'll talk to you later.